What's up, y'all? It's your boy Mike Rashid. I thought it was time to pick back up on boxing for beginners. So what we're going to talk about today is the money fight, Mayweather versus McGregor, that just happened a couple days ago. A lot of people on the boxing side said there was no way that McGregor could win. A lot of people on the UFC side, on the MMA side, said McGregor got him. Everybody was banking on McGregor's power. The fact that McGregor's bigger, he even said that. And McGregor, you know, he went with the fact that he thinks he feels he's tougher because he bounces shin bones off of his head, as he so famously, so eloquently put. But, you know, I felt that, you know, I talked about it before. I felt that Floyd had it before the fight started. And let's talk about what happened, okay? It appeared that McGregor had some successes in the first 3 rounds. There's even people going so far as to saying that he dominated the beginning of the fight. Now that's a little exaggeration. If you dominate, that means you win. Okay, so he was more aggressive. But if anybody watched boxing, a lot of good fighters take their time in the beginning. What they're doing is downloading the data. They're seeing what you got. They're working on their timing. They're working on distance. They're seeing if you hit hard. And they're computing all of that, right? So Mayweather did that for a few rounds, okay? So he's never the aggressor when the fight first starts. That's historical. You can look at any of his fights. There's a couple when he came out hard, but typically he doesn't come out going, you know, shooting for the fences. He come out and he takes his time, gauges the guy, feels his power, see what the guy has. And that's what he did. So that's what y'all saw the first 3 rounds. Also, you see Mayweather's style is a lot different. So typically he's in a half guard, and that's what this is called. And he also uses shoulder roll defense, okay? To me, if you can do it properly, that's probably one of the best defenses out there because it's giving you can see everything. When you're in a full guard, you're kind of limiting your vision, but it seems to be safer. A half guard, you see everything, and you have a hand here to parry shots. You have your shoulder to roll shots off of your shoulder, and when you roll off some of the shots off, you're in perfect position to counter. Boom. So, but it's not a style that everybody can do, right? So you got to have a decent reach to counter properly. And you got to really master it, do it a lot. So he didn't do that at all, not once. And that was shocking to McGregor because McGregor was training for that kind of style. He said it after the fight. So Floyd came in with the full guard pretty much the whole time. And he came towards McGregor. Now, Floyd did say that since the Pacquiao fight was so boring, he has to make it up to everybody and make this a more exciting fight and take the fight to McGregor. So that's what y'all saw, Mayweather coming full steam ahead, forward. Now I'm gonna tell y'all something. It's little things, subtle things that you don't see in the ring that takes a toll on a fighter. When you have a guy that's constantly stalking you, wherever you move, he's going after you, coming to you. Even if he's not throwing a lot of shots, it drains you. It drains you because it's putting you on the defense and the offense, right? What's ideal in boxing is when you choose when to be offensive and you're effective. It's not ideal to have to be offensive. It tires you out. It's a strategy. So when you're constantly pressing somebody, they got to keep throwing shots or moving, getting out of the way when they don't want to. What's ideal for a fighter is to move how he wants to, when he wants to, dictate the pace and attack at will, all right? And come in and out. So that's a subtle thing that a lot of people can't really appreciate unless they're in the ring or didn't even notice, right? So that's something I wanted to point out to you guys. Also, you know, McGregor had people seeing a huge success at the amount of punches he landed on Floyd Mayweather. He landed, I believe, 111 punches within 10 rounds. And I think the comparison was to Manny Pacquiao, who landed like 89 punches in 12 rounds. Now, I'm gonna tell you why that is. It's a thing called respect. Floyd didn't put no respect on Conor's punches. So he allowed him to throw at will, okay? Now, when Floyd is the best defensive boxer of all times, if he respects your power, he's not getting hit, okay? He's gonna slip punches, he's gonna stay in his half guard, parry, 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 moving all around, dancing around the ring. That's, an intelligent thing to do, to not take damage from heavy hitting guys. It is what it is. A lot of people said that Conor had this lethal left. We didn't see it. He doesn't have power that people think he has. Now, I'm not saying he don't have power. We didn't see any power. What we saw was the identical to what he was doing at the media open workout. These pity pat punches on the bag. Personally, I thought that was just, we're just doing some light work for the cameras. But that's actually how he fights. Now, in boxing, the difference between boxing and MMA, you have, your elbows, shins, knees, grappling. You have a lot of different weapons, tools in your arsenal of attack, lots of different methods of attack, okay? Now, with you utilizing all of these tools, you're not ever really sitting down on shots. And what that means is planting your feet properly to really dig in. Use your hips, your legs, your feet to pivot into these shots, to land hard shots, okay? Now, there's guys who may not be the strongest guys, but know how to hit really hard, okay? And that's because they know how to sit perfectly into their shots and time those shots perfectly. McGregor clearly does not know how to sit down on the shots, because none of those shots, even that beautiful that beautiful counter uppercut that he landed on Floyd, that popped his head up, beautiful shot, but it didn't hurt him. Floyd took it, no problem, kept coming forward. That's the problem. That's intimidating. When you hit somebody with a beautiful shot and they keep coming forward. Now, if you hit somebody with a beautiful shot and you see a little wobble in the legs, or they start backing up, you know you hurt them. He didn't hurt Floyd. So that was a problem for him, because with him not having those powerful shots, he allowed a smaller man to walk him down, okay? Conor had a 20-pound, at least a 20-pound weight advantage over Floyd. On paper, he should have been able to knock him out. He shouldn't have been fazed by any of Floyd's punches, but we see that wasn't the case. People underestimate Floyd Mayweather's punching power, but Floyd Mayweather's knocked out over 50% of the people he's fought. He, later in his career, he rarely goes for the knockout because he don't want to injure his hand, that he's injured many times and he's fought. I can't think of the fight, but I'll think of it and try to link it down below. But there was a fight that when he initially broke his right hand, he fought an entire fight with one hand, with his left hand, and won. It was pretty impressive. So that was an issue with Floyd. However, Floyd does hit hard. If he didn't hit hard, Conor wouldn't have been backing up and moving out of the way of those shots. He was going to the body. Floyd has a beautiful, when you're an orthodox fighter and you're fighting a southpaw, left-handed fighter, one of your best tools in your arsenal is a straight right to the body. And Floyd was going right there, and it was landing every time. So, and Conor even acknowledged that those body shots was taking its toll. So it was a beautifully tactical fight for Floyd. It wasn't Floyd's sharpest performance. Floyd, you got to think, he's been retired for 2 years and he's 40-something years old. So we didn't see the Floyd as of old. If we saw a 29-year-old Floyd, it probably would have been ended a lot sooner, because he was a lot more aggressive back then, a lot sharper, and he used to go for the kill, okay? Another thing I want to address, because I'm a fan I love combat sports in general. I love combat, I love martial arts, I love boxing, all of it. I grew up watching Bruce Lee movies and then Jet Li movies and, Crouching Tiger and all of that shit. I love it all. But it's a huge disrespect and a disconnect sometimes between MMA fans, not the fighters, because the fighters know what's up, but a lot of the fans. Everywhere I'm going, I was in the gym this morning at the pool, and I could hear guys over there talking, well, the only, Conor was just tired. If it was anybody would have beat him, how tired he was. They don't want to give Mayweather his respect. Put some respect on this man's name. Listen, Floyd Mayweather is the third athlete in history ever to make $1 billion from his sport, okay? Third to Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, now Floyd, okay? That's not just because he boxes. He's a master class boxer, okay? You gotta give this man his credit. 21 years in the game, he hasn't lost. He's faced adversity in the ring. I was always a fan of him because he's a talented fighter, but it wasn't crazy. When I really gained a lot of respect for him is when he almost got knocked out by Shane Mosley. Shane Mosley, Hall of Famer, and he's a very hard puncher. Rocked him bad, right? Second round of their fight. Floyd tried to recover, he held on. You seen his legs was gone. Shane hit with another left hook and a right. Wobbled him again. It should have been over, but Floyd held on. He got through that round and he adjusted and he came back and got in Shane's ass, right? One of his best performances, and he wasn't defensive that fight. He stood in front of him and took the fight to Shane. And Shane's a tough dude. So, you know, the guy is battle tested. I mean, he's won a lot of all of the wars that he's been in, 50 of them to be exact. The close fights, he had rematches and dominated the guys. People don't appreciate you until maybe when he's 60, 70 years old, they start giving him his props, but people will not give him his props right now, especially with this Conor fight. You know, in the beginning of a fight in boxing, a lot of good guys. I'll give you guys another fight, for example, when Canelo Alvarez fought Amir Khan. Amir Khan is the fastest, he has the fastest hands in the business. And he was just all over Canelo. Bah, 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 bah. All these little pity-pat shots though. Wasn't phasing Canelo. He looked great the first couple rounds. But all Canelo was doing was walking him down, measuring his distance, practicing his timing, seeing how he's gonna clip this guy. And of course, he clipped him and knocked him out. That's what happens, okay? Just because a guy has a phenomenal first couple rounds, it means nothing, especially when the shots, usually when the guy have a phenomenal first couple rounds, it's because the other guy doesn't respect his power, so he's just walking through his shots. So y'all gotta really consider that. Listen, come on, man. Conor was unleashing a lot of shots on Floyd. They was not affecting him. Floyd doesn't have a mark on his face. Come on. Anyway, so yeah, it's a little disrespect with that. People don't want to give him his credit, and that's cool. He's laughing to the bank. Both of those guys are laughing to the bank, honestly. But you gotta call a spade a spade. The guy is good. The guy is fucking good. Floyd Money Mayweather is a fucking beast in the ring. Here he is, come out of retirement to dust off UFC's best. You know what I'm saying? And no disrespect to UFC. I have friends that fight in the UFC. I think the UFC is dope, but these are two completely different sports. And in boxing, you have a guy who's a complete master. And you have other guys who are, I mean, Conor would not have lasted 10 rounds with the new generation, or somebody his size, like a Andre Ward, or even a Gennady Golovkin or Canelo. So, you know, it's apples and oranges. It should have stayed that way, but Conor wanted that payday. He got it, but he also caught an L. You know what I mean? I think Conor, if he learns how to sit down on shots, I think he can do some things in boxing if he chose to. When he switched stances, like that karate style, go from southpaw to orthodox and back, it's confusing. I like that. I think that's dope. If he knew how to sit down on shots and he can land some meaningful shots, I think he could do something in boxing. And I would love to see him in boxing, honestly. Get them big paydays, baby. But, and I personally like to see two specialists, two purists going at it. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. I just wanted to give you guys my recap of the fight. It was a dope night. I was all into it. The kids was into it. My pops was at the house. Bonds was at the house. You know what I mean? We had a good time. It was an entertaining fight because we haven't seen Floyd taking a fight to anybody in a long time. But you got to give a man his props. It's okay. Give him his props. We give Conor his props. I think Conor is my guy. Like, Conor is the Floyd Mayweather of the UFC because Conor knows how to market himself. You know what I mean? So he's doing an excellent job, as you can see. But when it comes to these, you know what I mean? That's the man right there. And he's stepping out the way, and we have a lot of new talent that's coming up. It's phenomenal as well. But anyway, that's all we got for you. We're going to keep hitting you guys off with some more tutorials. Might do one in a few minutes, but y'all just stay tuned, like, subscribe, and hit the notification button so you can see everything that I drop exactly when I drop it. Because YouTube don't be showing love all the time. They don't be sharing the shit to all of y'all when they supposed to. So hit that notification button. All right, much love.